Good morning, YouTube. Now I know I'm a little bit late on this news, on discussing it rather, but since some of it is happening this month, I might as well talk about it. So, you've read the title of this video. Yes, it's true. The DC Universe after about 5 years of New 52, is getting yet another reboot. And this is exciting, yet puzzling for me, and probably a bit frightening. Because, on one hand, I hate the New 52 universe. I despise almost everything, rather, that was done in the New 52 universe. None of it really made any sense to me as to why they did a reboot. I thought everything was fine pre-Flashpoint, but DC was like, screw it, let's just mess with stuff. So yeah, and apparently DC knows that New 52 sucks. They know, because they've tried time and time again to fix the events of the New 52. At first with Convergence, and then with some other events that have been taking place, and now this Rebirth. So yeah. But I'm also kind of frightened about this, because this just proves that DC has no idea exactly what direction they want to take their comics. And that's a bit scary, because at this rate, if it keeps going, we could be seeing reboots of the universe every 3 to 5 years, and that's not healthy for a continuity. That's just gonna mess everything up and make people even more uninterested in your comics and more confused. So it's not helping the younger generation at all in keeping up with this universe. It's just gonna pretty much mess everything up and just boil it all, basically just blow it all up to hell. And so that's why I'm not particularly sure if, I want them to no longer do New 52, but just the fact that we need another reboot is, after we just had one half a decade ago, it's ridiculous. But I digress. Okay. Now let me explain, for those of you that don't know, let me explain exactly what the hell I'm talking about here. So, back in 2011, we got New 52, which was a reboot of the DC Universe, which at that time, before New 52, was taking place pre-Flashpoint. So basically everything before the Flash had helped to alter the timeline just a little bit. The altering of the timeline created the New 52, which is the universe that we are now currently engaged in until this month, when Rebirth comes into play, which is another reboot. Basically, it's a reboot of the reboot, if that makes any sense. Basically, Rebirth is supposed to basically go back to pre-Flashpoint times, go back to all the classic moments and characters and teams back in pre-Flashpoint, and it's supposed to stay with for the majority of it. It's supposed to be pre-Flashpoint universe stuff, but they're sprinkling in just a little bit of New 52 as well to make sure that continuity stays intact, which continuity was thrown out the window ever since this whole New 52 bullshit. But whatever, man. I don't write these comics, I just read them. So with the DC Universe reboot comes, of course, more number ones, more series. I feel like we've been getting a lot of issue number ones lately, but again, I digress. So here's what's going to happen. They pretty much separated the comic issues into separate families, 4 different families. the Batman family of comics, the Superman / Wonder Woman family of comics. It's mostly Superman, but they had to include Wonder Woman in there because, well, where else would she go, apparently? Even though she could have gone to the Justice League family or just simply other, but, whatever. Anyway, so you have the Batman family of comics, the Superman family of comics, which is also sort of the Wonder Woman family, the Justice League family of comics, and, of course, other. For all this shit that you have no idea even existed. I guess they're like, what do we call this? Just call it other. Nobody's gonna probably read those anyway. They probably will. Most people will. I will. But anyway, so Batman family of comics. I don't remember all of the comics that are supposed to be coming, but I do remember most of them. So if I miss out on a few issues that are going to be released, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's just a lot that's coming out, so my memory is going to be a little limited as to which ones are coming out, and so sorry about that if I missed out on your favorite comic, but it's a lot. In fact, you can go on Wikipedia, look up DC Universe Rebirth, and find out for yourself if I happen to miss out on anything, which I'm sure I might, but So anyway, beginning with the Batman family of comics, you of course, naturally, have Batman. No duh. Okay, so Batman, you also have All-Star Batman, which I have no idea yet how the hell that's supposed to separate itself from Batman, but maybe it's a different Batman or universe of Batman, or I maybe just another separate Batman universe. I don't know. But anyway, so we have Batman, All-Star Batman. Okay, that's cool. We're good on that. Next, we have Detective Comics. Now, Detective Comics is supposed to, if you're familiar with Detective Comics from the past, Detective Comics is basically what DC was before they shortened their name to DC. And Detective Comics also introduced Batman for the first time back in 1939. So once again, we're going back to Detective Comics being about Batman, particularly a team that he's taking around this time. So if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be the team is supposed to be comprised of Batman and Batwoman as their leaders, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Cassandra Cain, and Clayface. So that's Detective Comics. Who Stephanie Brown is supposed... I mean, it's pretty obvious who Tim Drake and Cassandra Cain are going to be. Clearly, Cassandra is going to be Black Bat, and Tim Drake is going to retain the Red Robin name. But I have no idea. Stephanie Brown has so many different identities that I just don't even know if she's going to be Batgirl, spoiler. She's most likely going to be spoiler because everybody else is... I mean, there's already a Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and Damian's Robin, so I would assume spoiler, but we'll see about that. All right, so Detective Comics. There are also two Batgirls, technically two Batgirl comics coming. There's Batgirl, and then there's Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, which, if you're familiar with the DC universe at all in any media, in any medium, then you know that the Birds of Prey is a team that Barbara Gordon had founded with or not Oracle. That was while she was Oracle, but she founded the Birds of Prey with Huntress and Black Canary. So that's going to be a team in and of itself. Nightwing is getting his own issue once again. It's not this Grayson thing. No, that's done. He's no longer Agent 37. He is now officially Nightwing once again. Like I said, the New 52 continuity has pretty much been thrown out the window for the most part. So that means that Nightwing's costume has also reverted back to the classic black and blue rather than black and red, which I'm glad because it was a pointless change with the black and red anyway. And so that's basically what I remember is coming out from the Batman family of comics. Now, in the Superman family of comics, we have Superman, Wonder Woman. If I'm not mistaken, we also have Trinity, which is a comic about Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, in case you haven't read enough about them in other comics, as if they haven't appeared in every other comic in this Rebirth universe. They decided, let's put them in all three. And let's just put all of them in, just Trinity. There we go. So that's happening also. Seems a bit unnecessary to me, but of course, they'll cash in any chance they get. Now, what interests me from the I've never really been all that interested in the Superman comics. Let me get that out there. I've never really been interested in Superman's universe. However, what interests me there is Superwoman, which, if you guys remember, this has nothing to do with the alternate universe evil Superwoman. This is the Lois Lane Superwoman, from which she got her powers from Superman for 24 hours, but then later on it became permanent. So that I'm excited about. I can't wait for Superwoman, and I most definitely cannot wait. I can't wait for New Superman. Now, New Superman is about this Chinese teenager who ends up somehow with a portion of Superman's power. Don't know how it happens. I'm sure they'll explain it in the comics, but right now, how this happens is unknown. Maybe it's through blood transfusion. Maybe he himself is secretly Kryptonian somewhere. Still has yet to be determined. Next, we have the Justice League family. And that will include Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lanterns, starring Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, which goes back to the original 4 Green Lanterns. So, John Stewart, Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, and all the whoever else they want to include. Then there's also Justice League and Justice League of America, which I assume are 2 different teams. Now, Justice League is supposed to be basically everybody that was in the New 52 lineup. So, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, The Flash. But instead of 7 members, we're getting 8 in the form of Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz. Instead of getting just the Hal Jordan or just simply 1 Green Lantern, we're getting 2. Why we're getting 2 is kind of, I have no idea why we're getting 2. To me, it seems a bit unnecessary. Why didn't we just go with either Simon or Jessica? Why didn't we just get maybe, I don't know, Kyle Rayner back in the Justice League? Or I don't like Guy Gardner, so forget him. But, I mean, I guess they did it to make the Justice League more diverse rather than just having that one token black guy being Cyborg. But still, though, I mean, it seems unnecessary to have 2 Green Lanterns in one team. But hey, it is what it is. And then Justice League of America, they have not really released any information on what the roster for that team is. Now, what I'm hoping to happen is I'm hoping that Martian Manhunter returns in this team. I'm hoping that he gets a chance to lead the Justice League of America, because I happen to like Martian Manhunter in the leadership role, and hopefully this will be the chance to see more heroes mixed into the Justice League of America, that some of which we haven't seen in the team before. I'm hoping for at least 2 new faces in Justice League of America, but that remains to be seen. Of course, there's going to be Titans. In every universe there has to be a Teen Titans team. And you know what? There's actually 2 Titans teams once again. First team is simply called Titans. The Titans are basically the original Teen Titans. So basically you got Nightwing, Donna Troy, you have Garth as Tempest, and Arsenal, and of course Lilith, who was an honorary member back when the first 5 were a team. She's now part of this new Titans team. Not necessarily new, because, I mean, these were guys we've seen since the 60s and 70s, but, the new grown-up team. Let's put it that way. And then you have Teen Titans. And I saw this coming. I saw this lineup coming because of Justice League versus Teen Titans, in which Damian took over as the Robin of that team. So what's basically going to happen with Teen Titans is Damian Wayne is going to be the Robin of this Teen Titans instead of Tim Drake, which I think is pretty okay. I don't mind that because, after all, every generation of Teen Titans gets a different Robin, so why not bring in Damian, Okay. So, yeah, we have Damian Wayne as Robin. I'm assuming he's leading this team. Next, we have Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy. So, your typical Titans from the new Teen Titans series in the 1980s. Classic series, but of course, they're going to be younger to fit Damian's age group. So, and of course, now this came as a semi-shock for me. Wally West as Kid Flash. Now, the whole Wally West thing is what's kind of a semi-shock because, after all, if you guys have watched any of The Flash, and that show, Wally is African American. In the comics, not only is Wally African American, but he's de-aged from what he's de-aged to Damian's age group, rather than what his age group would normally be, which would be with his fellow original Titans, Dick, Garth, Donna, and Roy. Now, since there's no Bart Allen, I guess they can't throw him into the mix. But what I want to know is, why did they decide, why did they need to make Wally African American? Probably for diversity. But even still, I feel like they could include more diversity rather than, switching race of a character. Not that I'm complaining, it just seems a bit odd to me, but, whatever they want to do. This is their comics, like I said, I just read them. So I'm excited, I'm most excited for Titans and Teen Titans, in case you didn't already pick up on that. And, I think that's all from the Justice League side, from the Justice League family. I think Suicide Squad might be in the mix, or it might be in the other family. But either way, Suicide Squad is happening. Basically all the characters that are in the movie, so Katana, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn, those characters are going to be in the Suicide Squad comic, and I do quote, a couple of others. So we don't even know who else. This is supposed to be 2 more. We don't know who the hell else is supposed to be in this Suicide Squad comic, but again, we'll see come, I think, July or August. Now with the others, we have the Hellblazer, we have Green Arrow returning, we have a new Red Hood and the Outlaws team. Now, if you're familiar with the New 52, maybe you're not, but if you are, you of course remember the whole debacle with Starfire's portrayal in Red Hood and the Outlaws. Well, don't worry about all that, since she's part of the Teen Titans and Arsenal is part of Titans. Red Hood has a new team going for him, which is basically himself, Bizarro, and Artemis. So that's a little weird though. I'm gonna have to check that comic out just out of curiosity. And what else? Okay, and the most famous one, well, not the most famous, the one I'm most interested in out of the other family has to be Super Sons. Now, reason for that is because it's supposed to feature the sons of Batman and Superman. So basically, put Damian Wayne, who is Robin and Batman's son, and Jonathan Kent, who is Superman's son, who is, Superboy. Those two, Superboy and Robin, are getting their own series. And if you know anything about Batman and Superman's history, you know that they weren't immediately best friends. They had a little bit of trouble getting along. So you can kind of expect that from Superboy and Robin, of course. Who knows, maybe sometime down the line, Superboy will join the Teen Titans. We don't know. So, like I said, Rebirth for now until until all of these comics hit by September rather. All of this is a mystery. And of course, from what I remember, there is another Batman Beyond comic coming, and that's considered part of the Other family. Now, I'm not sure why he's part of the Other and not Batman. Actually, no way. I think I know why. Because it's probably taking place in an alternate timeline. So that's probably why they set those two apart. But yeah, as you could expect from Batman Beyond, it does indeed focus on the Terry McGinnis Batman. In a future world from when Bruce Wayne already served his time, so he's retired. So that could be its own thing from the Batman family of comics, which I would assume, especially since that would kind of be messed up to have Batman Beyond take place in the same world, because that would spoil a lot of stuff. So it makes sense that it would be in an alternate timeline. So there you go. There you have it. My thoughts on Rebirth right now. The lineup is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I like who's coming. I like what's coming. I like the Titans lineup, the Teen Titans lineup. I'm iffy about the Justice League lineup. I love the fact that Birds of Prey is returning. We could do without Trinity. We really could. We don't need another comic about Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. That's what the Justice League is for. That's what Justice League of America is for. That's what every other Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman comic is for. We don't need one about all three in one comic. We see them enough times together in Justice League. I know it's just another cash grab. So, I mean, if I hear that it's a pretty decent read, then yeah, maybe I'll pick it up. But for now, I'm just going to leave it alone until I hear good things about it, because I'm not going to sit there and waste $3 on something that could turn out to be crap. So, there you have it. And I guess, Rebirth could really do some good. It really could. Because, like I already said, the New 52 kind of screwed up a lot with the DC Universe. And the fans really don't appreciate New 52. They were doing this for the younger readers. Even the younger readers were like, yo, this is crap. So, no. So, of course, DC heard and they were like, okay, we know we screwed up, so let's try not to screw up Rebirth. And it looks like they're not trying to screw. It looks like they're actually trying at this point. But, like I said, if DC once again does not know where to go with the stories in this comic, we could be dead in the water and having another reboot in 3 to 5 years. And all of this whole Rebirth BS could not matter whatsoever. But we'll see. We'll see. The DC Universe Rebirth Special issue number 1 is supposed to drop this month. And we're supposed to be getting subsequent twice monthly issue releases between June and September with all those families of comics. So we have yet to see what will happen. I'm hoping for good things. And if you guys have any thoughts about DC Universe Rebirth or whatever, go ahead and comment down below. Go ahead and like this video if you're into DC and you can't wait for this. And if you can wait for this and you don't like DC, then why'd you sit through 25 minutes of this vid? I don't know. Maybe you just like seeing my face. I don't know. But that's done. And once again, subscribe. I'm really doing my best to try to do more content at least once a week, as you can see. So I'm more active now that things are a little calmer with my life. My band will be on tour though, so that could shake some things up, but hopefully not too much to the point where I won't do any content this summer. Whether it's just me doing a cover or a gameplay vid or just me talking in front of a camera, I'm gonna do something at least once a week, because there's always some news out there for me to talk about. Alright, so like, comment, subscribe. Now that I've said my piece, peace. And DC, please don't screw this up. Okay, that's all.